What's good, YouTube? This is YPD Walls. Over the course of the last 24 hours, 40 hours, Mike Wang has been answering questions from people on Twitter. A lot of it's about shooting and defense, but I'm gonna get right into the video. Mike Wang, speaking of, somebody asked something about hot zones. So he said, speaking of hot zones, the four triangle notches around your player ring show you when you are in hot, which should be red or cold and blue zone. So basically, if when you go to a spot to where I guess is one of your hot zones, you're going to be red. If you go to a spot to where it's not one of your hot zones, you're going to be blue. And then I think there is actually, if you don't see any one of them, I mean, it's a neutral zone, which is not hot or nor cold for your my player. And this one is speaking of this is a recapping on the last little tweet. So person said the player meter will show their range in dark color. He said, yeah, it's gone. You're just gonna have to know your range this year. Basically, what that means is you're gonna have to know your my player. You're gonna have to know the ins and outs. You're gonna have to know where your player shoots good from, where your player doesn't shoot good from. You're gonna have to know everything about your my player. They are making this game to where you have to be in one with your my player, know everything about your player. It's not gonna really be. It's not gonna be easy for those who really don't want to work and learn their players, who depend on their attribute and badges basically to play for them. What I mean by that, to play for them, means that they have this badge Hall of Fame, so they know if they go to this spot and shoot, they got a greater chance of making it. Or if they go to this spot and shoot, or if they use this badge, it's going to help them tremendously. Even though you have that badge, you still have to know your player. Basically said, and this one says from Legit Bash, so is it perfect release green, or is it that we can customize? He said excellent releases always flash green, and you customize the color fill meter, team color, your favorite. Basically, you got a custom meter. You can customize the color of it, whatever color you want it to be. Whenever you make excellent release for it to flash, that's what the color you can make it. So I think that's pretty cool that they gave you the option to make your own, to decide what color you actually wanted your meter to be. And this one is with a 3 point, with a 73 point. What would be the estimate of the average shot success? A 70 would be average around 30. Mike, would that be 30% open from park or pro am? He said pro am. It would be much higher in park. So basically, what he's saying is, in pro am with a 70, which attribute on 70 for your 3 point shot, you got 30% chance of making it. Either trying to cater more around the NBA. The park's still kind of a little arcadey, so of course it's gonna be much higher. So I would say maybe 50 or maybe even 60%. So yes, you can still shoot in park with a 73 point range, three point rating on your shot. And this is another one. This is from Play. He said, "You said off dribbles are harder than standing shots. Is that just for threes, or is that for mid range as well? I have go difficult shots. I was talking about threes. Middies won't be affected. You said it'd be much. You said it'd be better shooting standing still. He said from three. Yes. Basically, he's telling you how to shoot. If you catch the ball as a sharpshooter shot, if you catch the ball and you plant your feet and then you shoot, you got a greater chance of the ball going in than you catching the ball and just shooting. I mean, he's basically telling people how to shoot right here with this tweet right here. This is what I got from it, because a lot of people like to get the ball and shoot it and get mad why they missed it, even though they have their badges. Well, this is what he explained to you. And he's also breaking down a player to this other guy. He asked, what's the closest thing to a Westbrook type build? He says slasher slash shot creator. So basically he's just breaking uh, the player down for you to kind of give people ideas, because you know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want to make Westbrook type players or Kyrie type players or whoever their favorite point guard is. There are going to be people trying to make those type of players. So he's kind of giving you heads up on what you should make if you're trying to make a player like them, like a shot creator slash slasher, or shot creator slash post for like Westbrook type build. This person asking, pure lockdown shoot at all this year. It seems like everyone can just sag off us on defense and we will miss every time. Pure locks won't be much of a factor on offense, but they'll be game changers on defense. Meaning that whatever you make, your archetype, if you make a defender, he is a defender. He is not a shot creator. He is not a sharpshooter. He is not a playmaker. See, I know in 2K17 you can make a defender. People can shoot limitless range threes. People can shoot corner threes. People can go down there and slash. They can dribble. That is not about to happen in this game. Whatever you make is what you have to play like. You have to adjust to the style type player that you make. Of course, there's gonna be people who exploit that, but not very many. Yeah, and this guy asked, "Yo, Mike, if I have a 79 mid range, I'll be able to shoot well there, right?" He said, "Yeah, you should be fine with that. A 79 mid range, you should be fine." That basically means to me that you're gonna knock down a lot of shots, but don't get mad when you miss a lot of shots, because at the end of the day, you got a 79 mid range. So if you know how to release your shot perfectly, if you know the angle, like if you know the angle to shoot at, because there's different type of angles and timing and all that. I'm pretty sure will play a major role into your shot actually going in with a 79 mid range, because attributes do matter. And at text actually, that tweet actually explained it. And this guy says, in your opinion, what do you think will have more an effect on my park slash playground badges attributes? So even though you got the badges, the attributes do matter also. So you can't you can't have a standing 3 point shot and get mad because you're breaking threes. You don't have that attribute. You can't have your ball handling can't be a 40, and you can't get mad while you can't dribble past a person. Your ball handling was 40. It's not that great. So I'm glad that they made sure that mattered, because in 2K17, I don't think attributes matter. I didn't think at all. This person asked, would a sharpshooting lockdown be a good build? 3 and D is always a solid player. Meaning by that, I mean that's a great build. He probably didn't let the cat out of the bag, but he really did to me, because I mean, a sharpshooting lockdown, a person who can shoot and play defense, that is a great build. Not too many people can shoot threes and and play and get back to play defense successfully. So this is the archetype that I would actually look into if you are into shooting and you're into defending. I don't know which one you'll put first. I don't know if you're going to put defending as primary and shooting as secondary, or vice versa, but that's something to actually look at. And then this guy asked, what was the percentage for shots in 2K17 for sharps with a 94-3? He said too high. So evidently, and they must have figured out that sharpshooters with a 94 overall, 94 3-point shot it may have said 94, but it probably rung up as 98 into the system they was using for 2K17, because to put too high, meaning that, I mean, if you're a sharpshooter, how can your 3-point shot be too high unless it's more than what you actually have as an attribute? Because they had 91s or 93s, so maybe 91s is actually 94s, and maybe 94s is actually 97s. We really don't know. Only the devs know. This guy said, you said off dribbles are harder than standing shots. Is that just for threes, or is that for mid range as well? I have difficult shots. He said he was talking about threes. Middies won't be affected. So basically, he's telling, as a sharpshooter, your best chance of getting a green light is planting even on a catch and shoot. Is planting your feet. Make sure your feet are set. Make sure you're square to the rim, and make sure you are shooting the ball and releasing it good. If you can do those things as a shooter, the ball will go in 9 times out of 10 every time. He's basically giving you the blueprint of how to shoot with this tweet right here. Then this guy said, Mike, please just answer. You're making our heads hurt. You can shot creators fade from threes like last year? Now, this is a big one. Shooting is very difficult from last year. I wouldn't recommend fading away threes. This is a big one. So 2K17, you saw shot creators fading away threes from half courts, greening from corners. That is not gonna happen. If you got a shot creator and you have the difficult badges and limitless range or whatever type badges, I wouldn't recommend you to keep fading away threes. They're not gonna go in. You may get some of them off, but It's gonna be a low percent chance of you getting those shots out. I'm glad they kind of did nerf that because that was too annoying. No matter what you did, shot creator fadeaway three in your face. That's that's really that was really frustrating for me. I even as I had a lockdown defender and I got burnt plenty of times on shot creators fadeaway threes. You know, I thought it was too unrealistic. This guy asked, "Would you recommend a primary finisher, secondary defensive center?" He said, "Yes." It's a great big build. So basically, this would be a athletic finisher and a rim protector, all into one. That means they got offense and they got defense. Of course, they're gonna balance their stuff out with the offense and defense. So the defense is not gonna be completely maxed, and the offense is not gonna be completely maxed either. But it's a great balance because you can still dunk on people and you can still defend. This guy asked if your shot creator's off dribble attribute is the same as his standing. Why would it be best to set your feet like you said? He said because a pull up three is inherently more difficult than a set three, and that's very true. They're trying to base the game off of actual real life NBA. Like you don't when you watch NBA, you don't see guys constantly going down the court and making fadeaway three pointers. You just don't see it. It's not realistic. It only happens in video games. So what he's saying is play like how the NBA players play, like how you see NBA games. If you don't see Kyrie or Steph coming down making fadeaway threes, don't try to come down and make fadeaway threes. You know, so this guy with a 73 point, what would be the estimate of average shot success? A 70 would average around three. Once again, that's just program. 70 average around three. I think maybe 33%, between 30 and 50% is what people are going to be shooting in pro-am. They really nerfed pro-am three-point shooting because last year people were shooting 70s, low 80s. I mean, to them, they felt that was unrealistic, and plus they trying to get the E-League involved. And the last thing you want to do is have a guy shooting 85% or 90% from 3 points or even the high 70s. To them, that's not realistic. Even if we look at the current NBA, nobody's shooting that. You know, a good 3 point shooter shoots 43 or 45, you know, if that, or even 39 or 40. This guy asked, so let's say I step back with a shot creator. Would that count as a shot off dribble, correct, or would it have to be a pull up? Yes, unless you wait a few seconds before you shoot. Basically, what he's saying is a shot off dribble is anything is anything that you shoot without waiting. See, a lot of people got this confused. Like whenever they come down court and they get last year in 2K17, they come down court and they get mad because they do a fadeaway three. That's because you didn't give yourself time to set your feet and shoot. So anything anything that you don't wait a second on is considered a shot off dribble. Do shot creators have to shoot leaning shots or shoot standing still? It's best shot creators to set their feet. Okay, we already went there. Shot creators don't get penalized for shooting off the dribble like other builds, but especially from three, it's always best to shoot. So he's basically pounding it into people's heads that it's best to set your feet if you're gonna shoot a three. You got a greater chance of it going in. As for, on this game, you got a greater chance of it going in on this game if you set your feet and then you shoot the ball. You most likely will have a rough time trying to figure out why you can't make a fadeaway three, but he just explained it to you. Okay, this is basically from the last tweet. His response to the shot creators have a shooting leaning shot. Okay, his response was off dribble advantage shot creators, catch and shoot, or just standing there advantage sharp. So basically, what he's just saying is anything, if you make a shot creator, anything that you shoot off dribble, of course, is gonna be to your advantage. Now, catch and shoot, anything that you stand there, catch the ball and shoot is gonna favor the sharpshooter. He's basically telling you, as a shot creator, shoot out dribble. As a sharpshooter, stand there, catch the ball, and shoot. You won't have no problems. You won't have no problems shooting. Now, personally, I feel as if I feel that people are losing sight with this shooting thing. Everybody's saying don't make a shot creator, sharpshooter. It's gonna take away from this. It's gonna take away from that. That's understandable. If you're gonna make a shooter, make a straight 3 point shooter. People are still missing the most important thing. the height of your player, what position your player plays. Does he play power forward, center, small forward, shooting guard, point guard? How much he weighs? Because weight is a factor. Weight can either make your shot go down, weight can make your shot go up. Um, his wingspan. How long are his arms? I don't know if it was, I think 2K17. If your arms are shorter, a lot of your shot contests or open shot, mid range and three, they went up. So even though I've seen tons of videos, I've did tons of videos and analyzing the attributes, even though those attributes look like that, I'm trying to figure out if you take if you whenever I'm trying to figure out whenever you take your build, if you make his arm shorter, will that make those attributes go up a little more, or will it just max it out? Say if your mid range can is between 11 and 15, will it max it out to a 15, or could it go beyond a 15? Or say your vertical is between a 12 and a 16, would it go beyond a 16, or that's what I'm trying to figure out, and that has yet to actually been um, to been spoken about. But once the prelude drop, then those questions will be answered. I will have answers for y'all about that, and I will share the information with y'all once I figure that out. Um, but thanks for watching the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. You can hit the subscribe button in the description, or you can hit the subscribe button. There's a little picture on the right hand side of the screen. You just click that and like and share the video. And thanks for watching.